Yeah.
Just get in and out of what they have to.
Thank you.
What they can use.
That's what they do.
Yeah, that's nice. Next one. Did they schedule it was also a work session. Technically, it's all January 1st, not today. Right.
With the pledge of allegiance. All stand.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have roll call, please?
Mayor Hempkins, President Johnson,
Here.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Here.
Council Harris, Councilor Jones Waters, Councilor Beatty,
Present.
Councilor Monroe.
Present. I think the mayor let us know about his absence. He was under the weather and couldn't make it in today.
Councilor Brooks. Solicitor Kilkenny.
Here.
Finance Director Nichols. Tax Collector Hughes. Panoni Engineering.
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Citizens Forum. Anna?
Good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me? Okay. I just wanted to say a few words. We'll definitely keep it brief because I know everybody wants to get out of here very quickly because we know it's the holiday season. One, thank you very much. I did realize that the accounts payable expenses have been posted on the website. So thank you very much with regards to doing that. It makes it easier for the residents. With regards to the accounts payable expenses, just want to reiterate that we really do need to watch in the future what we're doing with regards to those expenses. And then the other thing, I know that the engineering firm, once again, is a very reputable firm, but it's getting to be where we need to really watch the expenses for our borough. So we need to take a look with regards to whether or not we can get another firm, or at one particular meeting, they had said something with regards to potentially having grants that would cover the cost with regards to the engineering firm. So if we could do something with regards to that, that would be greatly appreciated. The other thing is, I just wanted to reiterate, we know that there was a lot of damage that was done to the borough because of everything that was done with regards to the fiscal mismanagement and the lawsuits that we got into. Wanted to know if there's any way that we can really get a costing with regards to what that cost us. We saw from the budget presentation what it did with regards to our premiums that the insurance companies were saying were uninsurable. Luckily, our existing insurance company decided to continue to insure us, definitely at a cost. But there were other expenses that we incurred all year long that weren't covered by the insurance company, like some of the law fees. And even in our AP listing that we saw right now, there's about $1,000 because of the restore. And I understand why we're getting those expenses, but I think that it's important that we see just how much all of this fiscal mismanagement cost us. And the last thing that I would have to say or ask, it's a request. At the last meeting, we know that there are several counselors that are choosing just not to attend. Basically, they're violating their oath they took when they were taking office. We had said that there was going to be something, possibly a letter, to see if there's anything that we can do to have them removed or force them into resignation, something like that. If we could continue to look forward with regards to that. I know that January 2nd, we have different members, but still it may be an issue because some of those other people that are choosing not to show aren't here and they'll still be serving as counselors. And that's all I had to say. Thank you so much for taking the time. Do appreciate it.
Joseph Williams?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your time. I was here earlier at the borough office. getting set up for 2024. And it came to my knowledge that you were having this meeting, so I will be very brief. But I'd like you all to know that our company, one of two Black-owned companies, energy companies in America, we've been in business since 2019. We're doing rather well. And the reason I'm here is because I am a former Yeadon resident. My children went to school here and grew up in this area. So I know somewhat of the problems that Yeadon may or may not be having, and we offer some solutions for that. The company is Centillion, the number 2.com is our website. And not only do we have an endeavor to save Yeadon money on their different utilities that they use, we also have a program for the school that will help them in their fundraising. And my number is 610-316-0512. I'd like to know who I can work with in Yeadon Borough, maybe a 15-minute appointment so that we can show what our services are and how we might be of a benefit to the Yeadon area. I must add that we are a Black and woman-owned company. We have a contract with U.S. Steel, one of the oldest companies here in America, and we have a pending contract with the city of Philadelphia to provide a portion of their electric, which would be a $9 million contract. And I'm really proud about that because before we couldn't even get in the room, now we're asking for a seat at the table. And thank you for your time. Hopefully, I can find out who to work with, and we're happy to move forward with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the minutes, consideration of approving the November 28, 2023 legislative meeting minutes. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Oh, the mayor is not here, but he read his report even though we didn't have a meeting. Am I correct?
Right, he did. But I don't know if we wanted to have a discussion about the vote, and then I can take the roll. Right. If you have to call for discussion about the motion that's on the floor.
On the meeting minutes.
About the minutes.
So,
It was.
I'm sorry.
Second.
May I have a vote?
Any questions?
Any questions first?
Yeah, any questions, concerns? Hearing none, may I have a vote?
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Yes.
Council Monroe,
Yes.
Council Beatty.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Managers report?
We are asking for consideration of the advertisement of the 2024 reorganization of Borough Council meeting for January 2nd, 2024.
So moved.
Second. Any questions, concerns? May I have a vote?
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe.
Can we include the time? Sorry, we went pretty quickly.
Yes, the reorganization is 7 p.m. The swearing-in ceremony starts at 6:15.
Thank you. Yes.
Council Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
We're also asking for consideration of adopting the 2024 Yeadon Borough Recognized Holiday Schedule.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. May I have a second?
Second.
Any questions, concerns?
I do have one question. I was actually looking for the, Christmas Eve. Is it, customary for, employers to have off on Christmas Eve? I wasn't sure, because I know I work on Christmas Eve. I don't know.
Some municipal governments do it, some as a benefit to employees.
Okay.
I think since I've been here, the borough has done
It's kind of odd this year because Christmas falls on a Wednesday, so it's like right there in the middle of the week with no. From what I remember, it's usually
What, this year? Or you
it.
talking about-
2024.
For 2024.
It will be a Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right. Yeah, but I noticed this year, they were off on a Friday, and Christmas wasn't until Monday.
Right, so it's because Christmas Eve was on the weekend. So it's usually Christmas and one other day. Sometimes the way the calendar falls is the day before,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's the day after.
It's
But
usually
because it's in the
Tuesday.
middle of the week, it's usually a 2-day anyway. So I think that because it fell on a Monday this year, they got off Friday
Yeah.
and then Monday, and then this will be Tuesday and then Wednesday.
All right, I don't wanna be a Scrooge, I'm just asking.
Yeah, just saying.
Cause I'm for you with me at work.
It depends on the industry. If you're in education.
I
you
had
work
put in
at
a call to Representative McClinton's office, and they had 2 days off.
Yeah.
So,
It's usually 2 days, depending on where the holiday falls.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say, excuse me, I have a question.
go ahead.
Still a little delirious. So can we agree then, what days will be the 2 days for 2024? It may have to be flexible and change because then in 2025, Christmas will probably fall on a Friday. So we need to just agree whether it will be the day before or day after.
So it's in your packet. I think it is the Tuesday and Wednesday this year. If the holiday falls on a Saturday, we should give the Friday. And if it falls
Okay.
on a Sunday, you should give the Monday. That's
Okay,
normally
so that's what
how
I,
we've done it.
okay.
And in 25, it'll be on the Thursday. It's just, it skips 2 days because it's a leap year this
Yeah,
year.
this year, okay.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Okay, vote please.
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
And we're asking for consideration of the advertisement of the 2024 public meeting schedule for Yeadon Borough Council.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Concerns, questions?
Just want to note, Madam President, that this calendar goes back to the old format of caucus meeting on the second Thursday, legislative still remaining on the third Thursday,
Caucus on the,
second Thursday of the month,
instead of the first.
instead of the first one.
Instead of the Monday.
Okay. That's fine.
I have a question, and I just lost my train of thought. It'll come to me, I'm sorry. It has something to do with what you said before, that, I think you answered my
With the
question, I'm
change in
sorry.
day?
Yeah.
I have a question. So you have here for January 2nd, swearing in ceremony at 6 PM. You said about 5 minutes ago, 6:15.
Well, I need everyone here at 6 PM so that we can start the ceremony at 6:15.
Oh, you know what we have to do for people.
Your cousins. Okay. But may we have a vote, please?
President, I'm sorry.
My question just came
Oh,
to
go ahead.
because I was just looking at the schedule again. So I would like to do a change for the legislative meeting for December. Are we going to, we briefly spoke about possibly changing it from the third Thursday, but I don't know, I want to ask my fellow counselors, how do you feel about maybe us doing our budget presentation earlier in the fall? So we won't have the same problem next year.
Absolutely.
That was really my question. Are we going to change the date, or are we going to change the date of the budget presentation? Or the format, I should say, of the budget presentation till November?
So my expectation would be that the budget would be done much earlier. I would say that I would advise to leave the date on the calendar as the latest date because,
Okay.
and then we can always add in a special meeting and have it earlier. But this just allows the consistency throughout the year. But if we don't need the meeting and we've covered all of the business that we need to cover, we always have the option of canceling that meeting because it's not necessary.
Okay.
But as long as and I would expect that the budget process would start as early as like September, October, like
Should be September.
functioning boroughs do, instead of having to wait to the last minute. But I also
Right.
want to have something on the calendar just in the event
I
that
agree
we,
with that.
you know, that we can always cancel it, complete our business, do our homework early.
Yeah.
That we can relax.
Yeah.
Now, why is it that there are no budget meetings shown on this particular calendar?
These are the publicly advertised meetings. These are the standard legislative meetings.
Do you have any schedule for the budget for next year at all?
Well, that usually comes from whoever's going to be the chair of the finance committee.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Take the vote. Any other questions? Okay.
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beebe.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Solicitors.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays, everybody. I just wanted to follow up on a couple things from the past meeting. After, I know there was vigorous debate about the frequent absence of several counselors at the last meeting. So what I did is my office put together a draft letter to District Attorney Stolzheimer for what's called a quo warranto action. As I said, the District Attorney or the Attorney General of the Commonwealth have to start the process to remove that member. I put together a draft letter, spoke to Vice President Roadcloud after the meeting briefly, so I bounced it off her first. I'll send it out to the whole group. And if council so chooses, they can put it on the reorganization agenda and take action directing my firm to send it. And I will call District Attorney Stolzheimer myself and let him know once that happens that it's coming and why for some kind of context.
Okay.
And that's all I have unless there are any questions from council. Thank you.
I mean, I just, like, I wasn't here at the last meeting, but my schedule was announced early in the year. I just want to say how tremendously difficult it has been to operate as a functioning government with so many canceled, rescheduled, ignored, upset meetings. And I look forward to changing that in the new year. So again, like, hopefully we can, get on our schedule and to just stick to the schedule, to be respectful of ourselves, to be respectful of our constituents, and to be respectful of the borough. This isn't terribly difficult, but some disruptors will make it impossible. So hopefully we'll be able to change that going forward.
Yeah, the thing is, I have a problem understanding how anyone that's in a group, any organization, if you're not going to show up to simply make a phone call, letting the group know that you're not going to be there, so we could alleviate showing up here if we know we're not going to have a quorum. It just doesn't make any sense to me, so something does need to be done about it.
Well, I mean, while I do wholeheartedly agree with everything you just said, I think some accountability is necessary as well, because last minute rescheduling is just as disruptive as not showing up.
Yeah.
And rescheduling without consulting individuals is also non-productive. We don't, so if you are going to cancel a meeting, then you need to contact your colleagues to see what a consensus would be to make sure that everyone is available for that rescheduled meeting. With my travel schedule, I could not do ad hoc meetings on the drop of a dime. So, I can't keep rescheduling and costing my family and my business money because the borough didn't have a published calendar that they stick to, didn't have a budget that they stuck to. And because one person was feeling ill, I didn't just say I would be absent. I identified the days that I would need to participate via teleconference, hoping that there would be a 4-member quorum present. So the borough has the fail safes in place. If you just follow the prescribed program, it works.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Tax collector is not here.
But I do have her report if you would like.
Please.
So the tax collector's office is open today, tomorrow, and Thursday for borough residents who still need to pay their taxes before they're turned over to the county and are listed as delinquent. I believe her hours are 9 to 2 for this week, again through Thursday. For the month of November 1st through December 16th, borough real estate taxes collected total $64,654.48. Borough trash, $18,780. Borough sewer, $49,911.32, for a total collection of $133,345.80.
that it?
That ends the report, Madam President.
Thank you. Engineers.
Good evening. I have one item. Mr. Kilkenny, I just want to make sure, so for this grant application, this does need to be part of a hearing, and I want to make sure I'm following the proper channels. If you could just make sure, guide us in what that needs to happen to do so, that would be appreciated.
So for this agenda item for the CDBG, so what I would ask, I would suggest as a council make a motion to open a public hearing.
Okay. At this point, we will open the, we'll have a motion to open the public meeting for the engineers.
Public hearing.
Hearing on.
Public hearing office.
So
Not- It's not, you said the office?
So on the engineer's report, we need to have a public hearing on the CDBG. So it would be a motion to open a public hearing for the CDBG application.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion to open the public hearing with the CBTG grant. Is that sufficient?
That should be it.
Okay.
So moved.
Second?
Second, yes.
Okay.
Open the hearing.
Okay, Mr. Nichols, vote please.
Who? Wait, okay. President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have our engineer here from Benelli Engineering who will give a brief explanation of this grant application, and there'll be an opportunity for council comment, an opportunity for public comment, and if council so chooses, they can close the public hearing and take action.
Okay.
Okay.
So this application is part of the Delaware County CDBG program. Previously, the borough received money for the sanitary sewer replacement project on Cypress, which was just completed this past year, and then the Duff Avenue Road rehabilitation, which is under contract and going to start in the spring. So this will be under the same category of funding, which the borough has been very successful with in the past. This application is for the 900 block of Myra Avenue, which is between Laurel Road and Arbor Road. Within the past few months, there have been multiple issues that the on-call contractor has had to go out in regards to the sanitary sewer and the failing system in the road. So as part of this project and working with Public Works, we'd like to replace the main down the center of the road, as well as the laterals connecting to all the properties in that vicinity. We estimate it will be around $250,000 grant application. Through this project, there is no match required by the borough. They pay, the match portion is covered, your portion of the project is covered under engineering fees that are used, but all construction, the contractors are paid directly by the county if the grant is received. So the application is due January 5th, and it would be for the sanitary sewer replacement along Myra Avenue. And everything that I've been getting and working with Public Works and Mike P. From the photos of the issues from the last few months as well.
Motion to consider the approving
Now
resolution.
you have to have public comment.
A couple of things you have to do, see if there's any council comment and see if there's any public comment.
Okay. Questions, concerns?
How far along Myra Avenue are we talking about? I mean, it's not terribly long, but it's all of Myra Avenue?
There's 20 dwellings that are affected along here.
Sorry, say that again?
There's 20 dwellings that are affected within the 900 block that would,
Okay, so it's the 900 block of Myra.
the 900, is that not on here?
Okay,
Yes, the 900 block.
okay. And you said there are 20, everyone here may not be familiar with what Community Block Development Grant means. So, what it means and how the homeowners would be affected and then how the surrounding community would be affected.
As a lower income community, you qualify for the funds from the county. The residents in this area will see very minor effects. When we did the project on Cypress, we were able to keep, besides access to the parking on the front of the street because the road is closed during construction, they will have to use other methods of parking right along the front. But other than that, they will not see any disruption to their service.
When will this take effect?
This is simply an application for the grant. If it's awarded, we would find out the middle of next year, and then the agreements would be executed and nothing would happen until 2025.
What criteria defines us as a lower income community?
That is something that Delaware County calculates and has a map that is very strategic by block. I don't know how they calculate it. It is a very specific map that gets released each year. I don't understand, and I would have to look into that a little bit more. I don't know if I could tell you right now.
I know it's based off of the census tract, and I can tell you there's a small portion of the Yeadon Borough that's included in that census tract.
Okay, I mean, I was just
A very small portion
wondering
of
what the
borough.
criteria was, and is that the only criteria that makes us eligible for the CDBG grant?
Like I said, everything is based on one map, and if you are highlighted in that map, you have access to these funds and you can submit a grant application.
Okay.
There's no further council comments, or there's public comment? Okay, if not, seeing there's no public comment, I suggest you close the hearing and then take action on the resolution.
Okay, at this time, we will close the hearing for the block grant application for sanitary sewer rehabilitation for Myra Avenue. Vote? Yes. Maybe have to vote.
You need a motion.
A motion to close.
A motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
President Johnson,
Yes,
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Council Monroe,
Yes.
Council Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries.
thank you. You're still on holiday mode. And the second one you want to speak about?
So
That's it.
you just have to vote, yep, as long
And just
as,
vote on the resolution.
just vote to pass the resolution and that is everything.
Okay. Motion for resolution number 2023-010. Let's see here. For the 2024 Delaware County Community Development Block Grant Program filed with Delaware County. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, may I have a vote, Mr. Nichols?
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Council Monroe,
Yes.
Council Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before she leaves us, any resident have any questions for the engineer's office?
So there's a B, I'm not listed
It's
here.
essentially the same thing.
It's the
right?
same thing. I don't think it needs,
It pertains to the same.
by
thing.
passing the resolution in turn.
You didn't-
Okay, no, I'm talking about anything else.
Okay.
Anything else?
Historically, there's just been two motions here in Yeadon when they have the CDBG hearing.
Okay.
One is to submit an application, and the other is to authorize the borough engineer to actually be the person to do the submission.
If you want to do that.
That-
If you want to do that,
Yeah.
move up on the agenda.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it's been every December when we had these hearings.
So what I would suggest is a motion to authorize the borough engineer to prepare the CDBG application.
Okay. Motion to authorize the engineer's office to prepare a CDBG grant. May I have a motion?
To prepare the application for the grant.
For the application.
Yeah, it's B under engineer's report.
Motion?
So,
Consider all. B.
B, consideration of authorizing the borough engineer to prepare the CDBG application. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions, concerns? Mr. Nichols?
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Council Monroe,
yes.
Council Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Reports.
Before you leave, I know that we were having some conversations about your fees and how in the coming year we expect the firm to apply for and possibly secure additional grants that would offset your costs. Would you like to speak to our public about that?
If you'd like, a lot of the applications that we move forward with have at a minimum a 50%, if not 70% grant award, meaning the borough would then match 30%. There's a portion of that that is covered by engineering as part of the applications. Again, it is not the same every time. However, all of the projects have minimum 10%, sometimes 50% covered by engineering. And if you're not going to do it just like this Myra one, it's going to fail at some point and you're going to have to pay all of that at some point anyway. So by moving forward with some of these grants, you're getting 70 cents to the dollar for the project moving forward. So that's as much as I can say for grants and, and everything that's currently in the docket and moving forward is all, any of the projects I come up here and talk about are all covered by grants previously awarded or secured within the last year or so as well, so.
And what we spoke about before was then the actual commitment to seek out those additional grants, things that may have prohibited us to do so with the dysfunction in government, but moving forward, being able to, seek out those grants, bring them timely, get them approved, not miss out on things.
And our goal is to introduce the grant opportunities to you at least 2 months prior. Let you know of an opportunity, hopefully at work session. That's ideally when we would let you know about opportunities. We can have that discussion and then go forward. I believe at the last, in November, Joe mentioned that CDBG was coming up. This is the projects we're looking at. So we have that time for discussions and opportunities. As well as ideally too, in some of the grants that we've been working on, we've been able to get multiple categories and multiple opportunities for the same grant to offset the borough match as well, which has really been helping having all of your projects on one docket and being able to offset your matching contributions as well.
Do you, would you be able to help the Yeadon Economic Development Corporation with applying for certain grants?
That's
That
not,
could go straight to them?
that's not, I don't think that's appropriate for her.
Let her answer the question.
I don't think that's an appropriate question to ask her.
Let me.
You're asking her for
Let me
services that the
she
borough
tell
would
me
be
whether it is,
paying
whether it
for.
isn't. Would you please answer that?
As far as my understanding goes, we are Yeadon Borough's engineer. So our focus is Yeadon Borough. If there is another entity, that would have to happen.
Council would have to authorize.
Yeah, we would have to be authorized and directed from
Okay,
you.
all right, thank you.
And Councilman Monroe, for the record, last week when we were here, we did have a discussion. Joe and I and Megan, we mapped out 2024 and tied engineering costs to all the grants that we have currently pending and or awarded to cover the vast majority of their engineering costs for 2024. So from the general fund, their engineering costs shouldn't cost the borough more than $96,000, I think it was.
You hear that, Anna?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great.
Well, because it was like 22,000 just for the month of December, and if we continue that, and I think that it's a very reputable firm, we're just in bad financial situation right now.
And I will also prepare for the public, because we just started to receive in reimbursements. Like William Penn School District just reimbursed us for engineering costs associated with Kerr Field that we paid from our general fund, but they were responsible. So that a check just came in for like $17,000 to cover some engineering costs. So I can prepare a spreadsheet to show how much money we received in for reimbursements from outside entities. I guess, I don't want to say forcing us to use.
It's more of a reimbursement, yeah, especially for projects like Kerrfield. Any land development, anybody that's coming in to build within the borough is responsible for engineering fees. You should not have to pay
Right.
for us to come and inspect the property that is being built in Yeadon. They have to meet your requirements, your code, and we're just ensuring that, and they have to pay for that. So any land developments, any, grading, anything like that, just like Kerrfield, is all reimbursable by them.
Okay.
Great. So that sounds like that the engineering numbers that we've been seeing haven't been the true numbers because we were waiting on some reimbursement?
Correct. We are still waiting on some reimbursements.
Okay, good to know.
I just have one thing here. I just wanted to point out the date on that resolution has to be changed.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, reports and motions of finance.
Consideration of approving the AP list.
May I have a motion to approve the AP list?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Any questions, concerns?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Page 1, there's 2 reimbursements to Sharon Council Harris for November 30th for expenses and parking fee. So one's for $66, but it's in parentheses. Is that a,
That check was voided, the $66 check.
okay,
And
then
then no,
40?
the $40 was the number that council agreed to pay, reimburse Council Harris for her parking. Yes. She initially submitted 2 reimbursements, 2 parking slips for reimbursement. This body voted not to pay her the $66, but approved her to get $40. So that's why you see a void and then a reissue of a $40 check.
Okay.
Any other questions, concerns? Hearing none, will you take the vote?
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Consideration of approving the cash balance report.
Any questions, concerns? May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, will you take the vote?
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries. Consideration of approving the final budget for the Borough of Yeadon fiscal year 2024.
May I have a motion for the final budget for 2024?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, may I have a vote?
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries. Consideration of adopting the 2024 tax levy ordinance number ordinance number 2023-1406.
May I have a motion for tax levy 2023-1406?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions, concerns?
Can we give a brief explanation for the public of what that means, Mr. Nichols?
Yes, so this tax ordinance does increase taxes by 2 mills. It increases the trash fee by $30 from $300 to $330. And it sets the sewer fee for $10 per 1,000 gallons plus $50 for the Pinvest loan that the borough currently has.
Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, there's an incorrect date on the.
Yeah, I think she left our packets here, but Ms. Sapp updated all of the dates.
Oh, okay, because it say 22,
Oh.
December 2022.
That's really wrong. But I know that Ms. Sapp did update.
Okay.
She didn't reprint anything, she updated everything
Okay.
for us to sign.
Okay.
Thank you for noticing that. Okay, maybe we have a vote, please.
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries. Consideration of approving the grant application for the Senior Community Services. Donation request was $7,500. This is for fiscal year 2024.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Questions, concerns? Hearing none. Vote, please.
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries. And consideration for approving the grant application submitted by the Yeadon Education Athletic Association, YEAA. The donation request, it was actually $12,000, but we budgeted $10,000 in the 2024 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Questions, concerns? Vote, please.
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rollcloud,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries. That ends, well,
I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say that ends the finance.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance and zoning, Mr. Stokes.
Council President Johnson, is it okay I stay where I'm at due
Sure.
to my situation?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone, presidents and council. For November 2023, there was no zoning use or hearing applications. Our hotspots were the 1100 block at Chester Avenue, which is illegal dumping in the rear of the property. One of the inspectors, Whitesky, was handling that situation. 1219 South Longacre Boulevard, the owner has actually cleared away most of the debris. She's still working on removing some of the debris from the yard. That was a property that was many years of neglect. 1024 Church Lane, Frankie Francis, the funeral director, he has been and still being cited for non-compliance of removing the graffiti on the building. Public Works actually took care of that the other day, and we actually abated the property. 725 Furnace Street, 727 Furnace Street. Also, there's two properties. One is definitely in the process of possibly collapsing. The borough actually had the property shored up under the immediate intimate danger ordinance that we have, so that was secured up. The insurance company, State Farm, finally came out to 725 Church Lane last week, the 19th, and actually, I'm waiting for the report to get back from them. I also talked to the solicitor's office, Ms. Colleen, and we're working on drafting a letter to the insurance company to get that as soon as possible and to enforce some other laws on the insurance company. There was one small fire-related incident in the 1000 block of Bullock Avenue. The owner was advised to correct the issue. Closed items were curb field construction was completed, and 400 South Lansdowne apartment complex, their yearly inspections were completed. Upcoming items, 414 Industrial Park Drive, they submitted a demo permit. It is being reviewed by our commercial inspector. We also had a demo application submitted for Fitzgerald Mercy Hospital, second floor above the ER. They're looking to put a dentistry lab in there. And that is also being reviewed by the commercial inspector. Important issues requested. I was requested by Human Good Corporation. I'm just changing the wording around. The Human Good Corporation to dedicate a plaque to their administrator, Ms. Arlisha Fields, for the Grace Court Complex in reference to the work that she does with the residents and with assisting the borough whenever we have any kind of emergency in that area. She usually comes out and helps us with some things when it comes to her complex down there. We need to appoint several zoning officers. We also need to appoint members of the Planning Commission. I also spoke to the solicitor's office today, again, in reference to ordinance change or a new ordinance for street permits for dumpsters, pods, and storage containers. I'm waiting for them to get back on to me in reference to the information on the letter that's being drafted. Property and maintenance abatement for total for up to November is $9,142.37. For the November code revenue, it's $42,257.69. And that's my report for code enforcement.
Any report on the cemetery?
I spoke to the on-site supervisor, and he is waiting to hear back from the general manager, who is on vacation. He cannot do nothing until he gets permission from them. But he was advised that they need to replace the fence and keep painting it as per discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Have any questions or comments? Madam President, as the Emergency Management Coordinator, can I read this one also?
Please.
Emergency Management for November 2023. The Yeadon Borough Emergency Manager works well with all of the Yeadon departments and other agencies to keep advised of any emergencies that may impact Yeadon Borough. December 14th, there was another FEMA class that came up, which it's after this report was before then. It was a class for the GO42 Incident Command System overview for senior officials, executive, elected, and appointing borough officials or township officials. We had home training, home EMSI, home training incident command system for FEMA All Hazard Training GO 402 Incident Command System Overview for, again, senior officials. I did send this information out with my, to email to everyone in reference to the classes that are required by all council members. I also did send to the incoming council person in reference so he can have those classes before he actually takes position now as a council person. On the report, there is instructions of how to log in and get your own FEMA ID so you can take the class. All classes are free of charge, but you must score 75 or better to pass. And you do get a certificate. Once you pass, you can print it out and keep it as record that you did take the course.
And when are the classes being held?
Well, the classes for you to take, you can take online. There is
Okay.
not a specific date. There was just one December 14th updated class. But again, these classes, you can go online. I do have it on the report of what classes, of how to log in to get the classes you need as an elected official.
Thank you.
I have a question. How often do you have to take these classes?
I'm not aware of it, just once you take it the first time, and then there is updates, so you would have to do an update on the changes. And they do send that out from the county and from FEMA directly to you if you have the certification already, because once you get a FEMA ID, any classes that FEMA would present to anyone, you should get a letter or an email saying what's available for you. So
Yeah.
you should be getting them. If you're not getting them, let me know.
Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Okay, let me know, and I'll check on it and get back to you. But yeah, anytime, any classes for FEMA, you should get an update on any classes that they are providing.
I haven't seen one of
You
those.
haven't, okay, I will check into it and I will get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Check the list.
I'm for the same.
The municipal list, because you all should be, and I thought we updated that list.
Yeah, that's
I know
what,
we did, because we
Yeah.
asked you for
You think it might be going to, you know how
A
on
spam.
Outlook it's the other
Maybe.
folder?
yes.
Every now and then I may look at that, but most of the time I delete a lot of those because it's a lot of municipal stuff.
There's a quarantine folder.
Yeah, there's something else on here.
Well, if you do get it, if you do your FEMA stuff, what you should do is save it as a inbox, and then it will go
Yeah.
directly to your inbox. Because you are correct, sometimes it will go to spam. If you don't save it, it'll go to your spam folder.
Yeah.
I know we did update the list maybe a year or so ago, so every
Okay.
time we should be receiving.
I did see that with the quarantine, and, yeah, I didn't know what that was. Is that the end
Yes,
of the
ma'am,
report?
that's my
Okay, thank you
reports.
so much. Public Works, did he leave anything?
Submit something. There will be e-waste on January 26, 2024, Friday, 8 to 2:30. Leave season
I'm sorry,
will,
what time was that?
8 to 2:30 on January 26th. A lot of this stuff is dated, that's why I'm kind of skimming through it. They did start doing the disinfecting for all of our facilities, the COVID disinfecting again. I know that started last week. They're preparing for snow season. I'm knocking on wood just so that it doesn't come, even though we probably need it. My allergies wouldn't be so bad like they are now. But we have everything that we need to prepare. The rock salt has been ordered. We do have enough rock salt on reserve for us, and we also have some outside as well with the municipalities in which we share. I know that they are also doing something with the garage down at Public Works Yard. The generator went, so we have to get a new generator so that the garage doors can open, or something happened with one of the bays. And I know that they got authorized repair for it, and I apologize that that's not my area of expertise.
Do we have a trash scheduled for New Year's week, next week?
Yes, Mike should have put it up on Nextdoor. If he hasn't, I will make sure that it's up. It should be the same as this week's.
So we're gonna go 2 weeks without any recycle collection?
Well, people are putting
That's-
recyclables out as I came around, I knew.
They put it out and then it gets thrown out by the trash company. Just because people put it out does not mean the trash company is collecting it.
This has been a bit of a problem. I've gotten a lot of phone calls because they put the recyclables out after a holiday and they're not taking them.
We
Have
don't
you all
get
noticed
collection.
any of this?
We don't get recycling on holiday weeks. It's the makeup day for the trash collection.
Right.
It's been this way for 2 years now, where there's no recycle collection on a holiday week. This is an issue now because we have 2 weeks in a row during a heavy
Season.
trash, for heavy recycling season. So the question was whether Michael Pizzullo was able to work something out with the trash company regarding recycle collection, or whether we are indeed going 2 weeks in a row with no recycle collection.
Let me get with BN now. I'll actually call them after this meeting to see if they can do something, because you're right, with Christmas
I
and,
know Michael was trying to head this off a couple weeks ago before.
okay, so I will follow up and have him post something on Nextdoor.
Fabulous,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Who is that calling?
It's in the, it's probably someone from another country.
Public safety. We have no one here.
Well, you do have just one consideration of resolution. I know that the chief and the solicitor did work together, and it is in your packet to have council authorize the police department to get rid of records. Legally, council has to authorize any time records are destroyed. We did follow the borough code, and there's an Exhibit A that is attached to show exactly the time frame in which we're to keep certain records and things and what will be actually destroyed in your packets.
And they're all over 7 years.
Correct.
How many?
At least 7 years.
At least 7 years, yes.
Okay, consideration of approving disposition of public records in the Yeadon Borough Police Department as attached in Exhibit A. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, Mr. Williams, take the vote.
President Johnson,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Councilor Monroe,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
If I can make a recommendation to maybe have this on every December list, just as like a housekeeping thing, so that it doesn't feel like it's something sinister or sordid that we haven't done before. I mean, it's basically giving them permission to clean house. So, and even if there's nothing that requires disposal, just say we can consider it in the event that there are records that need to be disposed of that meet the criteria, just something standard. So, because I know everyone's like, wait, destroy police records? But we're basically throwing out trash, you know? And just confirming that they'll be properly disposed of.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Not set out for recycling that won't be picked up for 2 weeks.
No, there's an actual company, professional company that's gonna come in and take it.
Yeah, I think transparency is best. I appreciate that.
Always. Fire department report, do you have anything on
I don't.
that?
Madam President,
Yes.
I'm sorry, as a member of the fire company, just to let you know, the fire company did go out on Saturday, the 23rd, to take Santa Claus around to the community, and it was a good outpour of residents who actually were glad the fire company did do that.
Okay, that's nice.
We also did a daycare Santa presentation of giving toys out to one of the daycare centers, also
Okay.
on the 23rd.
That's nice. Okay, thank you. Emergency management?
Well, I read that already.
Okay, you did, thank you. Recreation? I will be speaking about that in a moment. Okay, President's report. I will be stepping down from Public Works. I have some business, family business that I need to take care of, and I'll have to do some traveling within the next 2 to 3 months. So I'll be stepping down from Public Works, I'll be stepping down from Recreation. We have Counselor Beatty, who is interested in Recreation. So I will be appointing her to the Recreation Chair. Also, I will be stepping down as President of Yeadon Borough Council effective January 2nd, 2024. Also, I will be stepping down as liaison of the Yeadon Economic Development Corporation. And I just need some time to try to get some things taken care of, some business things taken care of in my family. And that is the end of it. May I have a motion to adjourn?
What happened to recreation?
There is no recreation report.
You said you was gonna read
Does
it.
have a report here, wait a minute. I don't think I see it.
I'm just want to make sure I heard it correctly. Can I ask a question while you're looking for that?
Sure.
Make sure that I'm not tripping. You said you were stepping down from Yeadon Borough Council as of January 2nd?
As the president of council.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. I was like, is she stepping down from council?
And when you say public works, you don't mean public service, you're talking about public works committees. You're talking about committees, okay.
Here it is.
I'm half asleep, so I wanted to make sure I heard it correctly.
Yeah, as
Thank
the
you.
chair. Recreation and Community Development Report. The 108th Pennsylvania Farm Show is scheduled to take place from January 6th to January 13th at the Farm Show Arena in Harrisburg. This year's theme is Connecting Our Communities, highlighting the interdependence between the urban and rural sectors of our state. The event offers excellent opportunities to explore this connection. Attendees can engage in workshops covering various topics such as canning and preserving food, culinary arts, winemaking, baking, even entomology. What is that? Entomology.
Bugs.
Bugs, yeah. The show promises not only educational experiences, but also the chance to indulge in delicious food. If you're interested in attending, please reach out to Roy Hunter at 610-284-1606 or 215-813-1597. The 2024 Philadelphia Flower Show is set to be hosted at the Pennsylvania Convention Center from March 2nd to March 10th. For those interested in attending, please call Roy Hunter at those same numbers. The Penn State Master Gardeners are hosting a series of workshops, and the public is encouraged to attend. Topics include native trees for your yard, landscaping with native trees, landscaping for water quality, building an insect garden, container gardens with limited space, and more. For additional information, please refer to the borough website. And that is the end of the recreation report. May I have a motion to?
I have something else, please. I know at the very beginning of this meeting, we had, and right around the solicitor's report, we had conversations about attendance and how important it is to not be disruptive to our governmental process. Given that you know and foresee that you won't be available and is voluntarily stepping down from serving in the community, might it behoove us to formally step down and allow someone to be appointed who's able to serve this community? We've recognized the hardship that has been on 4 councilor members when it's supposed to be a body of 7. And provided that Councilor Brooks and Council Harris are, that process is not going to happen overnight. We're still going to be in the same constraints once the new year comes. So I think it might just be in the best interest of the community to be able to step down so we would be able to appoint someone to the role who will be able to show up for us. Because otherwise we're going to run into all of the same issues that we're having right now.
Are you speaking about me stepping down from council?
Yes, I mean.
Well, I'll say in no way am I stepping down from council. Just as you have had to travel to take care of some business, it is now my time. I have been on a liaison to the Yeadon Economic Development Corporation since 2014.
Yeah, and they haven't done anything. So, and I hear you, but I've also asked for.
And you can let me speak.
But you're
I have
saying,
been
you're
on
saying
the
to
chair
step
of
down. I didn't hear
Public Works.
anything
I
about,
have been the chair of recreation for many, many years.
do you plan on
It is now time for
doing,
me to
do you
take
plan on
care of
participating
some
via
business that I need
teleconference?
to take care of. I am not stepping down as a council person.
Do you plan on participating via
I will be
teleconference?
available.
That is my.
I just will
okay.
not be here in person at all times, just as you have been. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
That's not what you said in your report. You
Someone
just
may
said
I
that
have a
you
motion to-
you were stepping.
I'm stepping down
down.
as president of
Okay.
council.
So for,
I'm stepping down as chair of the recreation department. Nicole, Councilor Beatty will be taking that over. When the reorganization happens,
that's like-
hopefully they will put a new chair in every organization, which is normal. That's quite normal.
well, it's not normal for someone to just take 3 months off. And when you talk about.
I didn't say I was taking
Yeah.
3 whole months off.
Okay.
It
Well, you
will
didn't
be
say much.
sporadic.
In
I
this-
said up to 3 months. I may be here in February, I may not. I don't know yet. It's still being planned out. I'm just letting you know ahead of time that there are some business concerns that I have to take care of for my family, and that's what I have to do. So when I'm not here in person, I will be here on the phone.
Okay, well, should that not happen, then we would have to ask that,
I had nothing
we
to
would
do
have to ask that our solicitor prepare another report for the district
I have
attorney.
worked, I have done for this community, I have served this community.
Mr. Kilkenny, we're gonna ask that another letter be drafted to, District Attorney Solsteimer, because if what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Sharon Council Harris can be out for 3 to 4 months, then, and we want a letter drafted because of dereliction of duties,
Phone to be a part of the meeting.
Alright.
well, we'll see.
So just for clarity, reorganization is a start over. There is no council president or vice president. They need to be voted in. So you're technically not stepping down. This is your last meeting.
Right.
Possibly.
And I don't know what I want to do. I have to think about what my responsibilities I want to do. I mean.
Right,
it's
you
the
can't
committee,
just
but it's taken
assign
away from
someone.
me. Well, before it was snatched away from me unfairly. I may have changed my mind and maybe developed a different interest
And
at
that's
this
true.
time.
That is very
So,
true.
like, you're not giving me anything. It was taken from me. to
You know,
begin with.
I think we all should behave as adults and perform the duties that we took the oath to
Right.
perform. Just because we're not, you know, possibly getting our way does not mean we're supposed to shirk our duties. You're still supposed to be a team player and perform the duties of a council person for Yeadon Borough. And I don't think it's fair at all because you may be having a hard time with reorganization coming up and you don't know what's going to happen and you want to now just disappear. That's not fair to the people.
I'm not trying to disappear from anywhere. I have business that I need to take care of, and I'm not going to allow anything to stop that business from being taken care of. And I said, if I am not here in person, I will be here on telephone. So I will be a part of these meetings.
It's not
only
just
the-
about being a part of these meetings, but it's also being a part of the business of the borough.
Well, listen.
Meeting is just not showing up for the meetings. You are also supposed to be working
As quiet
when we
as it's
don't
been.
have the meetings.
What chair have you chaired in the last 2 years?
It doesn't matter what chair I have chaired. You know what? I didn't have to chair anything because I've been doing everything behind closed doors, including exposing all of your misdeeds.
Well, what?
So,
No, that's your-
if only the
this meeting
commitment,
is
if only the
adjourned. Thank you for coming out.
commitment to personal responsibility was as strong as the
There's
commitment
business I'm taking
to the
care of.
borough responsibilities. If only. Thanks for coming out, everyone.